I honestly had no clue what I was going to get on here and talk to you guys about today. So I'm just going to get on here and flow. Honestly, I was out walking my dog and I was just talking to the Lord and just allowing Him to just kind of drop any ideas about what He wanted me to come on here and say. I'm typically one who tries to like to prepare at least a few talking points or have some type of subject matter to talk about. And I usually have some idea of what I'm going to talk about. Recently, I've really tried to be more off the cuff because I'm able just to be more natural, which is very ironic because I am one who likes to be prepared. I like to at least have a few lead in sentences or some type of just few words with the talking points that I'm going to be discussing with the subject that I'm going to be covering in the video. But I have just found more recently that having a subject matter and just pressing record has just allowed me just to be more natural, which is funny. Anyway, so I was out walking my dog today, and the place that I walk my dog is called Freedom Park. And I never really thought about the name. And as I was just kind of walking and talking and just asking the Lord what He wanted me to talk about today, He really drew my attention to that sign. And so I just pondered on it and thought about the meaning of freedom. And I just kind of put it away because He didn't really expound upon it. He didn't go into any great detail. He just kind of highlighted the sign. And so I didn't really think a whole lot more about it. Um, as I was walking, or I should say, while we were walking, I also just had this feeling of like anticipation. And I just felt in my body, and I just noticed in my body that I was holding my breath and I wasn't breathing. I was literally holding my breath. And so I stopped and took intentional breaths in and out and allowed my body to get adequate oxygen in and out of to take in adequate oxygen in and out of my lungs. And so I'm not sure what all of that means. So I'm just going to talk. Sometimes we get so busy anticipating what's next, what's on the horizon, what's just around the river bend, that we lose sight of what's happening in front of us. And we forget to just breathe. We forget to just breathe. So that is one thing that I want to encourage you to do today, to be mindful, to stop and actually take notice of what your body is doing currently as you're watching this video. Where's your shoulders? Do you feel any tension in your stomach, in your back? And if so, I want you to stop and take intentional deep breaths in and allow yourself to come to the present and don't miss where you are right now, because it's great to have all of these wonderful ideas about what the future holds and be excited about what the future holds, but there are so many gifts in what today brings. And we can get so caught up in what tomorrow has for us that we completely miss what the gift of today is. So I want to just encourage you to just take notice of where your body is. Two, when it comes to freedom, I really believe that there was a lesson even in God taking or having me take notice and assign freedom, because how I was talking about how in these videos I've become more off the cuff and how I've even experienced more freedom and allowing my own personality to come forth in these videos just by dropping. And wouldn't say there's anything performative about having any talking points. It's just what I've always done. That's a way that I have, or I like to prepare. It's a way that I've chosen to prepare in the past. And I facilitate. I'm a facilitator. I train people. So that's just something that I naturally do. But I think it's very symbolic of where the trajectory of where things are going, as far as just the freedom of letting go of what we thought we always needed to be successful, in embracing things that, or allowing ourselves to embrace like new aspects of ourselves, or grow into new like I don't know if it's like characteristics or aspects or whatever it might be, develop new ways of showing up that is foreign. And so I just thought that was interesting. And even now, doing something like this, like with zero, no, nothing, nothing. All I have on my computer right now was just the definition of freedom, which according to Google is the power to, or the power or the right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. And I think that's exactly what I'm trying to articulate, is just being able to sit here, and there is a freedom about being able to articulate myself freely without the crutch of having a tool that I thought I always needed. And just allowing myself to show up fully and just speak from the heart, speak from the soul. And so I believe a lot of us will be experiencing a type of freedom where we can let go of things that have served us in the past, maybe like parts of our identity, or that's just what I'm hearing, or that's what I'm feeling right now, or things, just anything that we thought that we needed, that there is a breaking away and a releasing of things that we don't need. We don't need them any longer. And so don't feel as though you need to hold on to them because you've always had them. Because what's having a crutch once you've healed, right? So once you've healed, you put the crutches away, you put the bandages away. And so I'm not even still sure what all of that means. Hmm. I believe a lot of us are coming into a version of ourselves that we've never met before. And this is the version of yourself that you need, that is going to get you to where you need to be, wherever you're trying to go. And the old has passed away or has pruned away, has been pruned away. So let those old branches, the old remnants of yourself fall away and embrace all of the newness that is to come and allow yourself. And I think that's why there's so much resting that needs to take place, because in the stillness, in the quietness, in the when your mind is clear, things come into focus. The puzzle pieces start to shift into place. But when there's so much noise, when there's so much chaos, things constantly just keep floating around. Things don't make sense. But as you begin to rest, as things start to quiet, as the dust starts to settle, the vision starts to come into full view. Everything starts to come into full view. And so getting quiet, getting into a place of allowing yourself, your mind, your body, everything, the physiology, your whole physiology to be well, healthy is key. Because when you are in a place where you are taking in junk, when you're taking in, not just when you're eating junk, when you're listening to junk, when you're watching junk, like it's all working together just to create this cesspool. But once you start to cleanse, once you start to detox out the contaminants in your body, everything starts to come into full view. And you realize that the crutches, that the band-aids, that the things that you thought you needed, you don't need at all. And it changes things. When you truly start to get well, when you truly start to rest, like body, mind, and soul, you become unstoppable because everything starts to shift. Everything starts to shift and to move into that union, that motion. And so there is a lot of things that are taking place presently. And so the trick is to be so far in advance mentally that you can't pay attention to what's happening in a present sense, because there are gems, there are things that are happening presently that you can miss. And it may not necessarily be happening in something that you can see tangibly, but might be happening somewhere else spiritually. But there is a freedom happening. There's a freedom taking place. I'm seeing like water, like just clear blue water, and like just someone in like maybe like cotton or linen, and they're just laying on the water, and it's just like, one of those scenes where somebody's just laying on water, and it's just like it's like they're just on top of it. That's what I'm seeing. And so yeah, if you're not already getting starting to take care of yourself, that is going to be paramount. It is about resting in this season, but it's also about your internal, like this is internal work, like your body, like your nutrition, your rest, body, mind, and soul. Because I wish I had the words to explain, but this is going to take a level of it's going to take a different level that you have to be firing on all cylinders. And I think I said that in the it's like pack light, it's time to build it in 2026 video. Yes. You need to be firing on all cylinders. So your health and wellness, and like your sleep need to be taking priority. Discernment, because that is going to help your discernment in this season. It will help your discernment in the season. So I'm going to leave it there. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for being here. Bye bye.